Good afternoon, Southern Maryland, and I'm aspiring meteorologist John Bordash with you right now to update your forecast. And we're first going to look at what happened yesterday. The recorded high temperature for yesterday was 59 degrees and a low of 36. So just glancing at the weather record, you would assume we had a pretty average day. Well, that high temperature came right before midnight, and our recorded high so far today has been 62 degrees, which was achieved right before 1 a.m. So the majority of the day yesterday was spent right on that low temperature of 36, and then as the storm moved on up the coast, it dragged in some of that warmer air, which got us up to 59. Yesterday we saw just over half an inch of rain, and by the time all is said and done, I think that we're going to end up with the rain amount somewhere between maybe 3/4 of an inch of rain and 1.5 inches of rain. Now, what I'm going to show you is what the current radar is looking like. Here's what we're looking at. What I also have on here are the our weather station reports. So where you see these little raindrops, that's what we're looking at. So we're going to put this to where it is right now. You see we're getting some snow on the backside of this, back towards Cumberland and Petersburg, down towards Harrisonburg as well. I've actually been getting a lot of reports of getting some snow mixing right down here towards Fredericksburg and even into portions of Charles County, down here towards Indian Head, Dumfries, as well as up here near Towson, Eldersburg, on up towards New Freedom, Westminster, Taneytown. I've been getting a lot of reports of snow up there. And if you look at another version of the radar, now this is from Intellicast, this is what their radar is looking like. They have some snow starting to show up here in portions of Northern Virginia, down here towards Hartford, on over towards Dale City, and portions of Charles County, near Hughesville, on the back side of this as well, and portions of Fauquier and Prince William County, and up towards Damascus, Eldersburg, near Towson, and again back up here towards the Mason-Dixon line. Earlier, this station here at the Stafford Regional Airport was reporting heavy snow, and if I turn this over looking at our MEDAR stations, and all that means is our weather stations, you're looking at a lot of temperature observations as of right before 1 o'clock. Reporting temperatures in the 30s are probably lower now, and it looks like we're definitely going to be seeing some snow for at least most of you. The coastal locations, it's always iffy because you always have that marine influence, but I think most of us will be seeing snow, nothing accumulating. Actually, I'll show you what my latest call on snowfall is. And this is what that's looking like. We're looking at the possibility of just a few flakes down here in Southern Maryland. Once you head past I-95, that's where you get to the less than 1 inch. They may be looking at a slushy coating at most, maybe a slushy inch. Once you head past the Blue Ridge Mountains, so back towards Hagerstown, Winchester, Luray, Harrisonburg, those are the areas that have the possibility to get 1 to 3 inches, and then back towards portions of Garrett County in Western Maryland, 3 to 6. We also do have some winter weather advisories and warnings. We have a winter storm warning for the areas in pink, back towards Garrett County, western portions of Mineral and Grant counties back in West Virginia. In the areas you see there in purple, Luray, Charlottesville, Petersburg, Frostburg, those are just winter weather advisories for 1 to 2 inches of snow that's possible. The National Weather Service has issued a special weather statement, and that's a step below a winter weather advisory down here in Southern Maryland for the possibility of some snow. Now, for the inland locations near Waldorf, on up towards Huntingtown, Dunkirk, and on over towards portions near Chaptico, you may be seeing a little bit more than just a dusting, maybe half an inch, but nothing all up substantial. This isn't going to be a big snow event for us. The locations that are going to be receiving the most amount of snow are going to be back towards the mountains. Now, we are starting to set up into a stormier pattern than what was forecasted. If you remember back to my winter outlook just a few weeks ago, I was thinking we would be looking at a mild start to winter, even though we were looking at a cooler fall. We really wouldn't be getting in on any snow events until January or February. Well, we're looking at the pattern to start to set up in a way that we could be looking at a very cold December, and the fact that we're already starting to see these storm tracks go inland and giving some areas snow is a good thing for snow, a bad thing for my forecast. But we are starting to look at some indications that we could be looking at a colder and maybe even a stormier December than was forecasted. But we're going to continue to watch that because we may be looking at the possibility of a white Christmas. Right now, the chances are a little bit higher than they were last year. And last year, we had 3 storms Christmas week. So we're going to be watching that. I think the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade looking in the short term. They may be looking at some issues with some winds because behind this system, it's going to be cold, and we're also going to be looking at a lot of winds picking up. Your day planner for the rest of the day by 2 o'clock, and right now it's 1:30, so basically now 38 degrees, just some rain. I think the best chance for any snow to mix in would be between 3 and about 6 or 7 o'clock as temperatures go back down to the middle to lower 30s. And I just made this graphic for Weathercast, and I guess I can show you what that looks like. This is basically a guide to what falls from the sky. So here are our clouds, and then once we look at, so this is just from the clouds down to the ground. So where you see the snow, sleet, and freezing rain, that's where the ground would be. So when the entire column of air from the ground up to the clouds is cold, below freezing, that's when we get the snow. Now what we saw these past few days is we saw that we were looking at a warmer proportion to the atmosphere. So that led to some sleet and freezing rain because it was colder down towards the surface. So when you get sleet, those are just those ice pellets. And freezing rain, it's almost the exact same thing as rain. It's just that at the surface, it's either at or below freezing, but the entire column of air before the ground is warm. So then we look at the rain to freeze on contact, and that's what they were dealing with a lot yesterday in central Pennsylvania. I think for us, where you may be looking at maybe some sleet or snow, I don't think freezing rain is going to be the biggest issue for us. But I think we're just going to be looking at maybe some raindrops, maybe some snowflakes or ice pellets mixing in. Not a big wintry event for us, but nevertheless, I'm going to continue to keep you updated on that. And again, we're looking at the possibility of snow today, going on over into tonight, nothing accumulating, but if we get any watches or warnings or advisories here in Southern Maryland, or we get an update to the ones that are already existing, I'll definitely update you, and I'll continue to give you updates on the radar, as well as storm reports that I'm getting in. Have a nice and safe one, and keep a weather eye to the sky.